is that? And that is a challenge.
No way!
Giving away all of these and more. Float from one hand to the other. You can do with a deck of cards. Check it out. So we have a fidget spinner down here on the table. So you're gonna do what's known as a table spin. Sit it on the table, put your finger on top, and you can spin it like that. It'll spin on the table. I have a deck of cards here, a bunch of different cards. What I'm going to do is take one card. Yeah, it'll just spin there for a while. I'm gonna take the Queen of Hearts right there. So let's give this another spin. Yeah, so that's what I was gonna show you, is you can spin it on the table like this. But watch, I can stop it with my mind. You ready?
What?
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
And see, now that it's stopped, I can kind of make it move again with my mind. You ready? Just like that, get it going really well. And then we're gonna take the queen, watch the queen, it's gonna go right down here on top of our fidget spinner. Just like that. I'm gonna let the fidget spinner work its magic and spin the card just like this, watch. Really cool one, this is the glow in the dark spinner. You charge it up on a light, take it into a dark room, and look at this. How cool is that?
Oh! That's neat. That's cool.
Oh.
That's a cool little...
Stickiness, so make sure you replace it if you're gonna perform the trick again. So you've got your tape in place. So you can have it this way, let it balance on your finger, then flip it over and really freak them out. Oh. So cool. You wanna try it?
Nice.
Make sure not to leave it so big so it doesn't fit, and just take a small strip of tape like so. And just go ahead and fold the tape in half like so. And just put it on the spinner's cap. And like I said, this is pretty basic. That's really it. After that, all you need to do is take your quarter, your shiny quarter, and
take your ball of magician's wax and roll it into the piece of invisible thread, just like that. So now you have this little ball of wax on the end of the thread. Load the little ball of magician's wax into the top hole of the spinner, just like that. So now you have the invisible thread attached to the fidget spinner, and this is the position it's going to hang in. But what's really interesting about this is when it spins,
just stick it to the tape. It's pretty basic and it's really effective, like I said, and it's not hard to do at all. So just stick it to the tape and there you go, and do the same for the other side. So again, get your tape, and not too much of the tape, fold it in half, stick it on the cap of the fidget spinner, and go ahead and take your coin.
it's actually going to even out in midair. The force of its spinning will cause the spinner to even out like this and spin horizontally. So the way I do this is I have the thread running over the top of my head just like this and held by my hand.
Mine's the quarter, which is the best to use for this. And go ahead and push it down hard and just give it a few minutes. Just push it down a little hard for a few minutes. And like I said, just push down it. So it's been 30 seconds and now you have makeshift cap hack for your spinner. And this will make it extremely more easy to catch, as you can see now.
Now in the proper lighting conditions, this is completely invisible. We're doing it in this light for demonstration purposes so you can see the hookup. Let me show you what it looks like.
So this will make it easier to catch, and it'll also make it easier to spin on the table since there's an elevation.
Alright, take your fidget spinner, give it a spin, and look. Just like that, it will float.
It's been about an hour, and this is what it looks like, if you guys can see. So that's what it looks like. Here's the black side.
And that is a challenge. If you have multiple spinners, try to stack them up on top of each other. It is really challenging.
And then here's the side I already did. I wish that the white like stars, what they're supposed to be, were smaller, because I'm going for a galaxy look. So I'm gonna go back and do the other side.
See who can do it fastest. This could be a new thing, like cup stacking mixed with fidget spinners. Like a Rubik's Cube type thing, like who can do it the fastest. Challenge your friends. When they fall, it's pretty spectacular.
Okay, so the spinner just finished drying, and it looks pretty cool. I could have done better. It was my first time trying like a galaxy look like that. So in addition to this custom fidget spinner, my brother wanted me to spray paint his. And since he's a Bandwagon Warriors fan, we got it yellow and blue, and his caps are white, so it'll look really cool.
See that piece right there? You can actually take it off. I mean, for me, I can, but for those who actually have fidget spinner that you can take off the centers, then you're good. So something really cool that I figured out is that if you have pencil, so you take off the lid. Well, it works best with a for me, it works better with a erasable pen. So I just stick it through here, and I push this down.
Watch. That's sitting still? You see it move?
Can you get it going really fast?
I don't know. Pretty good, right?
So something really cool is that if I were to stand it up, it would obviously stay. But if I were to flick it, it would fall down. But if I were to spin it, if I were to flick it, nothing would happen. It would just spin around.
This is the secret. It is some double-sided tape. I'm gonna take a little piece of this, like that. So you're gonna take your little piece of tape. It's gonna go right here in the middle of your fidget spinner. So once you have your tape in place, hold the fidget spinner like this. Your finger onto that piece of tape. Spinny.
And you can also hit it like any way you want. If you can still see on camera, it's still standing. It's like a pretty cool thing that I just found out. So yeah, now I'm sure you can see it. But you can basically hit it. As long as you have a lot of momentum, then it can basically work. And also, another cool trick is that,
Lifty. And it looks like the fidget spinner is just magically stuck to your finger. Each piece of tape is only good for about one performance before it loses it.
If you were to keep it like this and let go, nothing happens, right? But if you were to spin this really fast and then leave it at that direction, it will actually spin around, and then after like 30 seconds, it will actually straighten up. So let's see if that works.
So this would be great to do at like the end of a fidget spinner trick routine where you're tossing it back and forth from hand to hand, maybe around your back. And then at the end, it's like a magical finisher. You make it float from your finger just like it's magically sticking there. Nice. And that is how you do the magic gravity define.
And as you can see, it's now straightening up. And, well, it just did, basically. So as you can see, it's now straightened up.
Using and pop it out like so. And it'll take some practice, but it works. Just notice that you're not going to be putting the shields back on after you pop it off. So it might take some practice, so I'll just cut it on when I'm done with taking the bearings, taking the thing off.
But otherwise, this is a really cool trick that I figured out that you can do with your fidget spinner. And also, and if you wanted to take it out, put on the cap, like if you have a erasable pen, and then push down, and it should come out, and then you're good.
And quickly, by the way, some bearings, you have to pop them out from the inside, like that. Some you do from the outside. Just take a look where you see a bigger like crease and a bigger hole. So it looks like there's more of a, what's it called? More of a indent in the space to mark it out there. So let me do that quickly and I'll show you the ends and what happens. So after like 2 minutes, I finally got it, and all you need to do is just run it underwater, and here you have it. Just throw those shields away, and here's what happens next. So I'm gonna put this back in my spinner and we'll try it out again. If you remember how long it spun before, just go, if you don't, just go rewind this video, but if you do, good, because now I'm going to spin it again, the same way, and it will spin longer, way longer. As you can see, it's spinning way longer. And if you want to get it even better, put the bearing in 98% rubbing alcohol or any rubbing alcohol you have and just let it soak there for 30 minutes and this will spin crazily well.